Hey y'all, today we're going to cover how I leash train my cat, Laura. Thank you so much for joining us on Here in Meow. This is Zorro, and I'm Jennifer. Whenever we're outside on a walk together, we always get cat parents that come up to us who are so excited to see that he's leash and harness trained. We've had cars stop in the middle of the street to say that they're amazed or excited or that it's weird or Zorro made their day. Or we get a lot of people who ask for tips and tricks that they can use for their kittens or cats at home because they either want to start harness training or they have tried before and been unsuccessful. That's why I felt like this could be a useful topic to cover. This tutorial is just what worked for us personally. I have read a lot of other tutorials that do cover clicker training prior to ever introducing a harness or a leash. We didn't do that, but we were really happy with the results regardless. Whatever is best for you and whatever you think as a cat parent is going to make your cat most comfortable, please do that. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments and let's get into it. Because many cats adjust to new things and changes relatively slowly, it's going to be super important to be patient and take our time. And having expectations that this is going to be more of a nice long journey rather than a sprint is going to be good for both you and your furball. Patience is the first step on my list because we don't walk cats, cats walk us. Fascinating. So now we need to decide if our cat is the type of cat that would even like the outdoors. Some cats are and some cats just are not. When I first thought about leash training and harness training Zorro, I asked his vet. She told me that because of his more confident demeanor, she felt like he would be a better candidate for leash training than a cat who is timid, or anytime they get scared, they hide under the bed for 3 hours. Because we walk our cats for the cat's benefit, first and foremost, for their well-being and enrichment, it's important to decide if they would even get anything from going outside in the first place. If you think that your cat would be a great candidate for the outdoors, then it's time to look for a harness. So we've actually used a few harnesses over the last couple years walking Zorro. Essentially, the most important thing about any harness you get is that it's not going to fall off. So it has good clasps, it's fitted correctly, and they're not going to be able to pull out of it backwards if something ever spooked them. Vets I've talked to say you should only be able to get 1 or 2 fingers underneath the straps of your harness. Once you have your harness and get it adjusted correctly to your cat, the next step is to make them more comfortable in it. We have to distract them with any and all of their favorite things. If they're food motivated, use treats. If they are not food motivated or they're too terrified to be able to eat, distract them with their favorite toys and play with them. The goal is to make them forget that they even have the harness on. We increased the time Zorro was wearing the harness by just a couple minutes each time, but actually within a few weeks he was completely comfortable in it to the point he was falling asleep in it. Once they're comfortable with their harness, we transition to adding the leash indoors. This is going to help them get comfortable with the feeling of being tethered to something. We also want to make sure that your cat or kitten can't wriggle out of their harness or slide out if they pull backwards. So you're going to want to do test runs with your cat tethered by a leash inside before ever moving outdoors. Step 5, we've made it, the great outdoors. Outside is fun and exciting, but it can also be pretty scary for cats. Cats are a pretty unique animal in that they're both a prey and a predator animal, and their actions and behaviors reflect that exactly. Taking it super slow is going to be our best friend, and increasing time spent outside by small increments was key for us. Use your intuition and cat parent judgment to determine how long you and your cat should stay outside and when to increase that time spent outside on your walks. Initially, I found that being near or sometimes even in foliage or being high up on a ledge really helped Zorro calm down to the point that he could focus on the fun things that are outside for cats, like birds and bugs and grass. On a side note, I initially actually used to let Zorro walk out into the bushes that were right on our front porch, and lo and behold, a couple weeks later, once Zorro was more comfortable outside, this led to a huge darting issue. He just wanted to be outside all of the time at that point, and I basically trained him to let himself out. So actually, to remedy that, we started letting Zorro out only if we were carrying him out the door, and I wouldn't let him down until we were meters away from our front door. So our final step, though it maybe should be thought of as the golden rule of this whole process, is safety. Safety of our cats and kittens always precedes anything else when taking them outdoors. So use your best judgment when you're finding a location or space to take your cat outside on a walk, and always be aware of your surroundings wherever you go. If we ever go anywhere where there might be dogs or wildlife, I bring Zorro's cat backpack. This is a great cat walking tool because on occasion we have ran into dogs off leash or even wildlife or a feral cat. So it's always a great thing to have on hand. Sometimes even if we go by dogs that are leashed and I'm not sure of their temperament, or it's a tiny path and we can't move off to the side, I'll just kneel down and put Zorro in the cat backpack really quick before we pass them. Also, if you ever find yourself in that situation, don't be afraid to communicate and let the dog owners know that you have a cat and you're gonna go by them. It's also important for us as cat parents to watch out for small wildlife and be respectful of the ecosystems that we are taking our cats into. Like I said, cats are predators, so holding your cat's leash in a way that they can't pounce on that bird or rodent or lizard or any other animal is also important. Also, something I forgot to mention, watch out for snakes under your feet, under your cats, etc. Don't forget. With safety and awareness in mind, some consistency and patience, I'm sure that you and your cats or kittens will be enjoying the great outdoors in no time. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. Let us know what cat content you'd like us to cover in the future, and subscribe to our new channel. Good luck and happy travels.